Peter Sam was chuffing down the line towards the incline. He'd been sent there by the thing control to work. He went into a siding and collected 4 trucks. Then Elizabeth came up. "Peter Sam," she said, "you're only allowed to push 3 trucks up the incline at a time now. There's something wrong with the new winch that Mr. Percival bought." "Oh dear," said Peter Sam. "Well, I better follow the rules." So he uncoupled from the last car and pushed his remaining 3 trucks over to the incline. He uncoupled from the cars and hurried over into a siding to wait. The incline was designed cleverly, so that there was a special winch and rope at the top that was used so that the loaded freight cars coming down the line were attached to the empty cars and they were pulled up by the loaded ones. The empty cars began rolling up, and the loaded ones began rolling down. Soon, the loaded cars were all the way down the incline, and the empty ones were all the way up at the top. The loaded ones were emptied at the bottom. Then Reneus came over and shunted them into a siding. At the top, the cars that were empty were now filled with slate. Sir Handel, meanwhile, had a bad day. He had had trouble with the coaches. There had been some cows on the line, so he had to stop quickly. The coaches thought he was bumping them when he stopped quickly and pushed him off the rails, so now he was in no mood for games or any kind of fun. He shunted up to 4 freight cars and then pushed them away towards the incline. "Wait!" called Reneus. "Wait!" "Yes, Sir Handel, it's important. I'm in no mood for your games, Peter Sam." "Or yours, Reneus," said Sir Handel. He shunted the freight cars up to the incline. Then he backed away. The loaded cars started rolling down. Unfortunately, however, the weight of the 4 empty cars was too much. The winch snapped. The empty cars went rolling down the line, and the loaded ones shot back up to the top and derailed off the mountain. The empty cars raced towards Sir Handel. "Oh no!" cried Sir Handel. "Help!" The loaded cars raced after him. "Fast as we can, Sir Handel," said his driver. "Then they'll catch us. Then they won't catch us." The driver was right, but Sir Handel still called, "Help!" "You better go after him, Peter Sam," said Rusty. "Serves him right if he crashes," said Peter Sam. "Peter Sam," said Rusty. "How dare you say that? He's another engine just like you. Besides, he's your friend, isn't he?" "Yeah, I guess he is," said Peter Sam. "You're right, Rusty. I'd better go after him." He puffed onto the turntable, turned around, and raced after Sir Handel. "Help!" said Sir Handel. "Help! Ow, 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 ow," he said as he went over the bumps. The freight cars raced after him, but they were pretty far behind now. Peter Sam zoomed along and went on the other line. Ahead was the freight yards. Mighty Mac, Ivo Hugh, and Duncan were there, and so were some of the coaches and freight cars. There are 7 lines in the freight yard. There's line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, which Ivo Hugh is now on, line 5, line 6, and line 7, which Mighty Mac is on. All of them either go down the main line, end in buffers or sheds. Duncan had an accident on line 5. He was pushing some scrap cars, but they derailed, and now there was scrap metal lying all over the tracks. Then Sir Handel heard a whistle. Peep, peep, look out, called Sir Handel. His driver looked back. Forgetting about the freight cars, he applied the brakes as hard as he could, and they stopped just before hitting a pile of scrap metal. Phew, said Sir Handel. Then there was trouble. Since they had forgotten about the freight cars, they didn't notice them coming around the bend until it was too late. They hit Sir Handel and pushed him into the scrap metal pile. And off the rails. Ow, said Sir Handel. Ooh, oh, my aching wheels. Duncan! Not my fault, said Duncan. Just then, Peter Sam came racing down the line, around the corner and into the yards on line 5. Oh dear, said Peter Sam. Clean up on aisle 4, it looks like. You mean line 4, and that's not funny, said Sir Handel. It is to me, said Peter Sam. I'm ashamed of you, Sir Handel. If you hadn't been so arrogant, this wouldn't have happened. I wasn't arrogant. I was fine. You weren't arrogant. You were being a snob. You couldn't even stop to listen to me. You know I'm more experienced with trucks. After my accident at the incline, I should know all about it. Yeah, I guess you're right, said Sir Handel. You should be ashamed of yourself, said Peter Sam. Now look what you've done. There's 2 lines blocked, and they're both the main lines. No one can get out. You're right, said Sir Handel. And he knew that Peter Sam was right.